Hello students, welcome to Vijetha IAS Academy. In this session, we are going to deal with integrity. What is the meaning of integrity? UPSC clearly mentions in the third unit. In the previous session, we have seen that aptitude and foundational values for civil services. Aptitude is the ability to acquire certain skills to solve that day-to-day problems which India is facing. The next one, integrity, impartiality and non-partisanship, like that some of these values, and these are the values that are required for the civil service to solve these problems. India possessing so many problems, within the departments also so many challenges are there. In order to solve these problems, every civil servant should possess certain characters, certain skills, abilities. In that, integrity is one of the qualities, values of civil services, which is going to be very, very crucial in solving these problems. As we are seeing since the beginning that ultimately we are going to enter into civil services to make a certain impact on this society, to make an impact in the lives of the people. To make that impact, people should possess certain qualities. One such important quality is integrity. What is the meaning of integrity? Here, definition wise, as per Ministry of Personnel, Ministry itself declared or had given certain definition that integrity is defined as behaving in an open, fair and transparent manner, consistently honoring one's commitments and working to uphold public service values. Once you enter into the department, every department has its own goals. If you enter into health department, certain goals will be there. If you enter into foreign department, certain goals will be there. If you enter into law and order department, certain goals, organization goals will be there. Some of the characteristics may be common to all these departments. Some are specific to that department. That is why we have so many ministries. More than 50 ministries are there at national level, and in each and every state, so many ministries are there. Under each ministry, different departments are there. So every ministry has its certain goals to achieve. Collectively, combination or achievements of each and every department is the achievement of India. When it comes to definition, integrity is defined as behaving in an open, fair and transparent manner. Whether you are in health department, whether you are in finance department, whether you are in environment department, whether you are in social justice department, whether you are in home ministry, law and order department, openness, fair and transparent manner one should behave, consistently honoring one's commitments and working to uphold public service values. So when they are working, certain values like honesty, everyone should possess these qualities so that the functioning of that atmosphere will be very strong, very vibrant, very positive. Once vibrant culture is established, once open atmosphere is established, once people behave very honestly, then they assess the challenges also very openly, they assess the problems very rationally, and they will come up with certain kind of solutions, because there will be, wherever there is honesty, there will be open communication among the individuals. When open communication will be there, then problems also discussed very openly, very clearly. Solutions also will emerge out of that discussion. They will come to know about the problem very clearly in all the directions. They try to give their best to solve this problem also. That is where integrity will help. Integrity is about openness, fair and transparent. Suppose if a person is heading election commission is to ensure free and fair elections in the country. fair and transparent elections in the country. If elections are not free and fair, If there is no transparency in the election mechanism, people will not believe in the government. If government formed, elections are done, election result came. If in the elections, if they are not free and fair, not transparent, people will not accept the decision. And once the decision is not accepted, governance becomes very difficult. Everyday law and order problem will emerge because there is no trust on the government, because they did not win the game through fair fight. So same goes when two people are fighting in the game. If game is fair, transparent, even the defeated person will accept the defeat very honorably and wait. They will improve their skills for the next game so that they will win in the next game. But the referee is not fair. Even though a person is defeated, if the referee declared that person as winner, then the real winner feels aggrieved. Real winner will get victimized, and the real winner will get the sympathy of larger sections of the people, and the winner will mobilize these people to get justice. And in that process, country as a whole will enter into chaos. People will take the recourse of violence. That is what happening wherever dictators are there across the world, wherever authoritarian style of governance is going on. In those areas, people will not have any option but to revolt. Once people start revolting, government also will unleash the force. Many people will get killed. Once it get disturbed, then the flow of country will be hindered. Country has to develop. Country has to become developed country. Country has to remove the poverty. Country has to ensure hospitals across the world, across India, good schools, good quality education. Then if you want to ensure that, then society must function very smoothly. Society must function with a trust. If the trust is broken, people will be keep having continuous problems. Trust will not build up, suspicion, functioning will not take place, law and order issues keep coming. Unnecessarily our attention, mental energy, and also financial resources, instead of using those financial resources for the development of a school, hospital and industry, we are going to use that funds for killing our own people. So now you can see, towards development we should go, but towards underdevelopment we will go. Not to happen, we should possess this quality called integrity. Open, fair and transparent manner, consistently honoring one's commitment and working. I have given one example, election commission. Now you apply that in across the areas, across the departments. Then only we can understand the meaning of integrity. Integrity means the ability of an individual to remain consistent and committed to his or her personal and professional values. Personal values, we are seeing since first session that honesty, one example, best example, if a person is true to their words, if people are true to their words, their actions, their openness, then committing to those values. If a person is possessing non-violence as the value, then committed to that non-violence as the value. If a person is committed to the truth, always upholding the truth is very important. Integrity is about upholding that particular value which those people are believing. Always committed to that value. There will be no difference between what they are believing, what they are doing. So they are committed to their values, personal values. It is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. Moral means the moment morality, ethics will come, that means which is right, which is wrong. Committed to the right things, not committed to the wrong things. Always committed to the moral values. That means whatever is right for the society, whatever is right for the individual, whatever is right in terms of human values, people uphold those values. Integrity requires in a civil servant to incorporate the values of honesty, sympathy, empathy, compassion, fairness, self-control and duty, that he or she will be able to uphold high personal and professional standards in all the circumstances. So when it comes to people, Every day civil servant have to function in the office. They have to interact with the people. They are going to take the commands from their seniors. They are going to give commands to the juniors. In all these aspects, they should possess certain human values, ethical standards. These ethical standards like truthfulness, then fairness, then compassion towards the public, empathy towards the public. Suppose empathy without empathy, that means if a person is supposed to distribute houses to the needy people, the most eligible person will not get the house if empathy and compassion is not there in the civil servant. Because civil servant will not consider the suffering of the person on the ground as the parameter to fulfill the objective. They will consider, rather than being sympathetic and empathetic towards the person who is suffering, they will calculate in the mind how politicians are telling, what personal gain these people, the civil servant, will get if they perform their duty. The calculations will go very different. Empathy and compassion are two things which will enable the person to function very fairly, to function very honestly, so that benefits will reach the intended beneficiaries. If a person is given duty to distribute cylinders, gas cylinders, we are taking examples in day-to-day administration what civil servants are doing. If a person is given duty to distribute gas cylinders, and those cylinders must be given to those people who are in needy, who are eligible. If the eligible people are not getting the gas cylinders and it is diverted to the market, then it will create a discontent among the public. Same goes to the ration also. If ration, the grains which are supposed to go to the poorest of the poor people, if they are diverted to the market, then people will have grievances. People, as long as they do not having the capability to revolt, they will not revolt. But the moment the exploitation is more, if the people feel that this corruption is more and more not tolerable, then people one day going to revolt against the system. Once revolt happens against the system, it becomes difficult to set right back once again. Systems must not be compromised. Systems must function very honestly. Then only public trust can be built. Once public believe the institutions, people will not worry about day-to-day aspects. They will keep working what they can achieve in their life, what best they can contribute for the society. That's where integrity is going to play very, very important role in civil service life. Why integrity is important for a civil servant? Some of the factors are very much universal. Like India is facing so many challenges. To solve those problems, civil servants should possess certain aptitude, skills. Same like that case, integrity is also important in the life of a civil servant, because many issues are there in the country. To solve those issues, people should possess integrity. And in the different headings will come, but more or less the same issues. Throughout the ethics, we are going to revolve around certain core issues. Why the paper, separate paper is required for ethics? The syllabus designed in such a way that almost for every topic you can give the examples of the problems which India is facing. Ultimately, the ultimate objective of a civil servant is to solve the problems, to make the quality of life of common people decent one. No person should die without food. Every person should live in a decent standard of life. People are given chance, opportunities to grow in their lives. They can use their best, their potential, their abilities, so that as a country will benefit out of the human brain, human potential. Humans can function very freely only when they don't have day-to-day problems like food, hospital, health-related issues. When they don't have such issues, then automatically children or educated people or scholars or the sections of the people, they can work to the best of their ability. They achieve their success in their lives also. Their achievement is the nation's achievement. That will happen. And it happened, this is at the outer level. When it comes to department level also, certain issues we have seen in the previous session, those problems also can be solved. The problems within the departments also solved with integrity. Problems outside departments, the real problems of the country also can be solved with integrity. Some of the challenges and some of the solutions, like why we need integrity, and these are the list of issues. If civil servants possess integrity, if civil servants are open, transparent, fair in their dealings, then there are certain advantages to that. Maintaining public trust. So this is the first reason why a civil servant should possess integrity. If a person is showing integrity, then what will happen to the public? Integrity is the cornerstone of public trust. When civil servants act with honesty and uphold ethical standards, it builds confidence in public institutions. For example, a tax officer who refuses to accept bribes and ensures fair tax collection demonstrates integrity, reinforcing public trust in the tax system. How Indian government get the funds? If people pay the taxes. That could be income tax also. That could be indirect taxes also, like GST. Suppose if the public officials fairly, transparently they are collecting the tax without any personal interest, without any favors to the particular sections of the people, if the officer is doing their duty very honestly, collecting the taxes from those people who are supposed to pay, and collecting the tax how much they are supposed to pay the tax. If a person is supposed to pay the tax of 100 crore, if government civil servant ensures that all 100 crores are collected from that person and given to the public state treasury. Honest means, integrity means, the income tax collector or indirect tax collector is supposed to collect 100 crores, collected this tax and deposited in the state treasury. Instead, if they are not integrity, if they are not showing integrity, if they are not honest in the dealings, they collect only 50 crore, and what will happen to the 50 crore? And the 50 crore will not be paid by the person, and what is the benefit civil servant will get? Civil servant will take out of these 50 crores some 10 crores, and 40 crores will be remain with the person who is supposed to pay. Overall, state loss is 50 crores. Only 50 crores is recovered, 50 crores did not recover. But from the state point of view, still that person is guilty. Still that person is supposed to pay another 50 crores. But in the middle, civil servant will ensure that they will calculate the tax collection in such a manner that the person need not to pay remaining 50 crores. But in the background, 40 crore will be saved by the person and 10 crores will go to the person who calculated incorrectly, who manipulated the tax collection. Then if one person has done like that, then that encourages other person also do the same thing. Then other person also do the same thing. Then one person, one officer has done that, it encourages other persons also, other officers also do the same thing. Because an officer's salary is less, but by not performing duty, they are rewarded with a lot of money. Then it encourages the people to not perform duty honestly. Because it is more well rewarded in terms of money if they are not doing their duty honestly. Then ultimately what happens? The individual officers will get benefit. The tax evaders also get benefits. But overall, what is the impact on the society? If people come to know that state, when it comes to the budget, state cannot allocate the budget to the hospitals, state cannot give funds to the schools, law and order will not be maintained, soldiers will not get the strong equipments, intelligence system will not be strong, because everywhere funds crunch will come, funds will not be allocated in a strong manner, and once the funds are not available, the updated quality, updated equipments will not be there, then systems will not update, equipments will not update, then overall the quality of the service will go down, poor quality service, education quality will come down, health quality will come down. The soldiers with poor quality equipments, they face a lot of trouble in the border areas. If terrorists attack, terrorists may have advanced weapons, but soldiers will not have advanced weapons, and the lives of the soldiers are at cost. So we are losing the lives of the people at military level also. We are losing the lives of the common people by not providing quality health care facilities also. On both ends we are, security wise we are losing the people, development wise also we are losing the people. Quality education cannot be provided, that means quality intellectuals cannot be produced by the system. If quality intellectuals are not there in the system, then science and technology will not progress, industries will not progress, development will not take place, and it is a vicious cycle. Once development will not take place, then industries will not take place, then people's ability to pay the tax will come down. Then once again, if the people's ability to pay the tax come down, then tax collection will go down, then government budget will be even less than that, and again that a vicious cycle. So one officer, and if apply at the larger scale, that is where if a person functions with honest manner, integrity, then automatically tax collections will increase, the opposite thing will happen. More tax collection and more budget allocation, more funds for healthcare, more funds for schools, more funds for military, then everywhere strong system, then quality of the life also increases, quality of education will increase, quality of security also will increase, then people can serve the better in a more fruitful manner. Opposite thing will happen. This is one example how if a tax collector functions very honestly, how this operates at the larger level. From one person's single point of view, it appears like one person cannot change. If one person is taking a bribe, if other people are honest, then one person's commit mistakes will not affect. But if that happens at a larger level, then if everybody thinking that nothing will happen by not collecting the tax on time, not collecting the tax as per the records, then if it creates a culture, then entire system of collection itself will be very ineffective, then it affects the growth of the country. So one example where if a person functions with honesty and integrity, what is the result? If a person without honesty and integrity, what will be the result? Maintaining public trust. So if people will be loving to pay the taxes also. If people are loving or building the trust in the tax department, people will pay more taxes. Suppose if government is effectively collecting the taxes, effectively using the taxes for the public, then more and more people will try to pay the tax on time. Otherwise, it will generate a mistrust in the public, distrust in the public that by paying the taxes they are not contributing for the country. That's why they will try to evade the taxes. Tax collection is honest. It encourages the people to pay taxes on time, correct taxes. Maintaining public trust is very important. Honest people will build the system, and this system will be trusted by the people. And ultimately you connect every dot. It is a small dot, but if those dots are connected at the larger picture, country as a whole will not face any law and order challenge. People will not revolt at the end. Systems will go. Quality of life will be there. So you have to connect each and every dot to that ultimate goal. Ensuring fairness and justice. Civil servants must treat everyone with fairness and impartiality without favoritism or prejudice. A judge who delivers unbiased judgments based on evidence and law, regardless of the party's social status, uphold the principles of justice and equality before the law. A crime has taken place, a woman was raped, and a case was filed in the judiciary. The criminal was a very rich person, victim was a poor person. Victim was the girl, rich person was the criminal who has committed violence against a girl, woman. Case goes to the justice, judiciary. If judge, now apply where integrity means. If judge delivers unbiased judgment purely based on evidence, unbiased judge is just taken the facts into consideration. Facts are produced that completely the crime has taken place, girl child is abused and the person is committed crime. Irrespective of the social status of that person may be coming from a very reputed business family, that person may be coming from a well successful politician family, that person may be coming from a well reputed social status person. Despite that, if judge has given judgment purely based on facts, rationality, whether a person is rich or poor doesn't matter for that judge. It's only crime has taken place. Whoever may be the criminal, a rich person, a poor person, whether in this case a rich person or highly status person or successful person doesn't matter. Judgment is delivered and justice will be done. If the justice is done for the poor person, what will be the emotion of that poor person? Poor person got the justice and that go very long way. That poor person believe the system and they will try to spread the message of success in their locality and it will increase more and more trust on the system, judicial department. More and more people will try to come into the judicial system. They file the cases and try to get the justice. On the other hand, if judgments are not coming based on the truth, judgments are coming based on the money they spend behind the doors, based on the influence they made behind the scene, despite the victim is clearly it is there, evidence is manipulated, police showed the evidence in favor of the person, rich person, and the poor person got injustice. Already they are victimized in that crime, they were abused, already they were in the disadvantaged side. Now, when they go to the judiciary department, judgments also not in favor of the victim, then victims lose the trust on the system. Once they lose the trust on the system, fairness and justice cannot be taken place, and once people do not get the justice, if they are not treated fairly, public trust will lose. Once public trust lose on the judicial department, people feel that it is not worth to go to the courts to solve their disputes. If courts are functioning properly, disputes can be resolved very peacefully. People try to resolve their disputes very peacefully by going to the courts. Otherwise, what happens? Outside the court settlements will start. Outside the court settlements means people will take the law into their own hand. The victims will feel that anyway we are not going to get justice even if we go to the court or police. Then they will go and attack the people whom they feel victimized. This is where Naxalism ideology, radical ideology emerge. When out of court settlements happens, people will attract towards radical ideologies like Naxalism. The Naxal hit areas, there the regular courts will not function. Naxalites will conduct these courts. they will bring the person, they will kidnap the person, and they will bring the person, and they will try to give the judgment on the spot. They were also called kangaroo courts. On the spot judgment, on the spot, no trial, no proper evidence, just people will get instantaneous judges on the spot. Then in the first case, it appears that victim got judgment, justice on the spot. Then second case comes, second case also victim got the justice. It appears like very fashionable. Naxalism also, it appears to be good one because they are in favor of the victims and in favor of the poor people. Justice is done. But over a period of time, the Naxalites themselves may commit violence in the name of these new radicalism, and people try to commit more violence. Even one day, they will try to collect the funds from the poor people only in the name of fighting justice. They are not legally elected people. They are not having any kind of legality to collect these funds. Despite that, they will coerce the poor people to collect the funds to fight for justice. Now, the so-called people who got justice from the Naxalism ideology, one day they are going to be victimized by that system itself. Now, who will give justice to them? If society affected by this radical ideology, and at one point of time, the poor people are also going to face the difficulty from this. Now, in that case, if they don't believe in the system, then they cannot come to the police department, they cannot come to the judicial department. Society itself is creating these radical ideologies. These radical ideologies will create disturbances once again to the country. In the Naxalite affected areas, industries will not grow, democracy will not grow. People will not be living without any freedom from fear. People always live in the fear, don't know who is going to affect, who is going to attack. Where police system is there, where judicial system is strong, people live very peacefully. People develop the industries, people develop new economic activities, people go trading activities very openly. Economic activities will flourish, social activities will flourish, political activities will flourish. As a society will flourish if the systems are gaining trust from the public. So, you can see in one particular case, if that particular case do not follow any justice, not honest, not transparent, not open, if the judge is not showing the qualities of integrity, then they do injustice to the poor. The poor people will attract to the radical ideologies. Radical ideologies will flourish. Out of court judgments will take place. Then over a period of time, people will distrust the judicial system and police department. People go to the radical ideologies. But radical ideologies will come at a cost that they will involve in the violence, and it will not lead to the development of that area. It will hinder the development of that area. Again, we are affecting the public interest only. Therefore, judge should maintain fairness and justice. So, if a judge is true to their human values, if they are true to their values of the judiciary, if they are people with impeccable integrity, then they can ensure fairness and justice, and they will serve the society in the best possible manner. Now, could you get examples? One tax officer, if they show integrity, what will happen to the country? If a judge, if they perform their duties with integrity, what will happen? Next, preventing corruption. And this is one of the easiest example to understand. If a civil servant is, if a health secretary is honest, all the funds go for the development of schools. If a school department, if the head of the department of education department is honest, showing integrity, all the funds go to the schools. Quality healthcare will come, quality schools will come. Again, the development will take place if the officer is very honest. Preventing corruption. In each and every department, this corruption can be prevented if the civil servant possesses integrity as a value. Promoting efficiency and effectiveness. Then people will not take care into consideration of other aspects except the merit. When there is an employment drive, departments is supposed to recruit the people for the employment. And while you are recruiting new employees, people are given purely based on merit. People are recruited. No nepotism, no favoritism, no corruption involved in that department. Best talent can be recruited in the system. Once best talent comes to the system, then the functioning, the ability of these people will be very high. The efficiency of the department also very high. Delays will not take place. Judges will not delay in passing the judgment just for the sake of delay. They take merit into consideration. If the case is having all the truths, facts in hand, they give the judgment very quickly. Efficiency will increase. And if there is no other consideration except development, then people will go on time. The budget fund will go to the lower level very quickly. The lower level officers also will perform, will do the actions very quickly. Results will come very quickly. Healthcare, education, military, industry, on all the spheres, promoting efficiency and effectiveness. Departments will function very effectively. It will develop the country as a whole. Enhancing accountability. If people are integrity, then if the suppose top leadership is showing the honesty, integrity, if some people are not honest, they will be held accountable by the top leadership. Even if a person is honest, they feel themselves accountable. For example, in the past there was one minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Later he became even Prime Minister of India also. When he was railway minister, there was one accident and he submitted his resignation that I am taking moral accountability because under my leadership this accident happened, that not supposed to happen. Accountability can be ensured so that it will set an example to the next generation that people should perform actions very effectively. Enhancing accountability. Safeguarding democracy. Safeguarding democracy, if a person is heading the election commission, we have seen this example in the previous sessions also, in this session also, that election department, if election department is very strong, both winner and loser accept the decision of the election commission. If election commission is not honest, not working with integrity, loser will become the victor and the victor become the loser, and now there is a sense of injustice and the people will revolt and the democracy will be in danger. Safeguard the democracy if election commission functions with honesty. That's one. So these are at a very higher level, what will happen, what is the success of integrity, what can India achieve by performing actions with integrity. Managing public resources, funds will come, will be effectively utilized for all the departments. Social justice department, SCs will get benefit, minorities will get benefits, scheduled tribes will get benefit, hilly areas people will get benefit, plain area will get benefit, remote corner of the people will get benefit, because resources can be effectively utilized in each and every corner of the country. Otherwise, budget, the ministries and departments will keep on saying that lack of sufficient funds, they are not able to perform the actions. Managing public resources very effectively, not only about the funds, not only about the money. Water resource is a very important resource. Forest is an important resource. Coastal area is an important resource. Fishing resources. Oil is a resource. Gas is a resource. The spectrum, 2G spectrum, we have seen, like the waves, the communication waves also, like today we are calling 5G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. The waves, radio waves also resource. If only public interest is in the mind, the resources, these resources will be effectively utilized. India is a resource-rich country, 1.4 billion population are there. We need to effectively utilize these resources to make India very strong. With honesty and integrity, people will not consider any other factors except the goal of achieving success. Manage resources. Upholding moral standards, setting an example. The people who are following these duties, once they have taken the duties very honestly, if they uphold moral standards at very high level, then automatically what happens? They set an example and other people also will follow that. Overall, the working culture itself will enter into that direction. Next, develop conscience. Develop conscience that policemen ordered to fire an unarmed peaceful protesters, honest policemen will obey the order. Policemen of integrity will refuse to fire. When it comes to orders, if the top order is to fire, policemen will fire. If a person is having integrity, integrity means what is the ultimate objective of the policeman? To safeguard the lives of the people, not to kill the people. Then in that case, policemen will try to think innovatively, is there any other way to dispute, to resolve this problem without committing any kind of law and order issue or without opening the fire. Ultimate objective of policemen is to safeguard the life, not to kill the people. Even though law and order problem is there, they try to find a solution how to solve this problem. Develop conscience. Role in development, in each and every department, people try to develop. So overall, the taxes will be collected properly. The budget funds, whatever funds that are coming from the budget, each and every department will allocate those funds very effectively, and overall development take place in the country. Prevents misuse of power. Nepotism will not take place. Favoritism will not take place. And fear, people will function without any fear. And when they are taking recruitment, they will not take the nepotism, they will not take the connections, family connections or relative connections or friendly connections as a reason to recruit the employees rather than merit. And same goes when it comes to the contract giving. Government will give the contracts to those people who are efficient in performing the actions, not just because they are having the political connections or family connections. That is how prevents the misuse of power. Power will not be misused. A person committed crime against rural people or poor people, they know the judges will not misuse the power by giving injustice to the victim. No misuse of power. Important for good governance. Everywhere good governance is possible. People trust will be built once integrity and honesty is there. Some of the examples to show that in different spheres. So these are various examples that Ashok Kemka, one example. Despite he was facing so many transfers, still he tried to expose the corruption in the land dealings and real estate, and he was not fearful of the continuous transfers. Example of honesty and integrity. Manik Sarkar, some politics, some business people. So whatever they earn, they try to donate to the people. And some politicians, they will be very peaceful, very simple. Despite they are in the power, they will not misuse the power. Their power and their abilities will be utilized for solving the problems. Their always focus is how to ensure their duty very honestly, and they uphold the value of integrity. Medha Patkar, in education sector, healthcare sector, environment sector, technology sector, in different sectors, whatever they believe, if they are stick to their values, that is called integrity. A person is committed to create as many forests as possible. He started planting and continuously he planted and he became forest man of India. So that person is Jadhav Payang. So like that, different people. Some people are doctors. They commit their value to the doctor profession and they perform their duty to the best of their ability without compromising their core values, integrity. A civil servant perform their duties without indulging in corrupt practices, without misusing the power, without attracting towards the corrupt methods. Always their aim is to serve the people and they do their duty to the best of their ability for sake of development of the people, for the welfare of the people. So these are various examples when it comes to integrity. So this how integrity is dealt in detail. The quality of openness, fairness, transparent manner, honest manner, for the sake of the duty, stick to the ideals of the organization and also profession and to the human values. If a person stick to the high moral standards, if they are true to their professional values, if they are true to their personal values, and if they are open, transparent in performing their duties, that quality we call the quality of integrity. In civil service, this quality is very much important because India is facing a lot of challenges like misusing of power, trust, public trust on the institutions is going down. In order to regain it, people with integrity is very much important in civil services. So these are issues with respect to integrity. In next session, we will meet. Thank you.